Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel LY Family. So today's video is a cook with me story time. I did just go on Insta Live just before filming this video and I told like a mini story. Nothing to do with this story, but just like a little childhood story just to kind of get everybody in the mood for this. And I did do some prep for my cook with me. So most of the things are actually ready. And then I'm just going to go through everything that I'm using right now and kind of tell the story in between. I've never done anything like this, so bear with me. It might be all over the shop. But yeah, I just hope for the best. Anyway, I will just put my hair up and get everything ready again, or put everything in front of me again, and we can get right into this video. Okay, so first things first, got my pan. Got the biggest one. Well, I have two like this, but I have like two big ones, so I got one of the bigger ones, so everything can fit in. Today I'm going to be making these like chicken buns. So the actual like bread part of it, or like, yeah, the bread part of the bun, the dough can actually be used to make like 3 different things. It could be used to make these chicken buns, it could be used to make like mini pizzas, it can be used to make these like little mini like spinach or meat, like I don't know if they're called like fatayas, I don't know if that's incorrect, but is what it is. Just like kind of savory little pieces. So they're definitely, the recipe is amazing, and it's like a really quick dough slash it only needs to rest for 10 minutes, so it's just like amazingly quick. I'm going to actually start off with like the inside of the bun, which is going to be like chicken, and the reason is because I want it to cool down by the time I make the dough, let the dough rest, and then by the time I'm putting it all together, this would have already cooled down and I can just do it really quickly and just save time on waiting. There's no point of doing it while I'm waiting for the dough to rise, or like giving it that rest of 10 minutes, because this would still be hot. I still wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm gonna do it this way. Anyway, I'm gonna try and not ramble. First things first, I cut up the chicken into really small cubes on my Insta Live. So it was like bigger cubes initially, and I've cut it up into small cubes. And this is 2 chicken breasts right here. Like chopped up onion in here. Going to add the clove of garlic now as I am speaking to you all. Here it is. So garlic here. I'm just gonna press it through. It's just the easiest way. Now I'm gonna put my hob on a medium heat, and I'm actually gonna put olive oil in my pan. Yeah, I will show you everything I season with, but the thing is, the great thing about this recipe is you can like season it with anything you want inside. Some people don't like the strong taste that I'm going to use, so like maybe use different tastes. If you don't like those tastes, you can just use like different spices, so just go with what you like. But it's really amazing because you can just use so many different things with it. Anyway, I'll let the heat up and I'll come back. So the pan has heated up, but I've just thrown in the onion and the garlic right now. It's not sizzling hot, but it's like hot enough to put them in, and I'm a bit impatient. So while I'm waiting for that to fully heat up and cook the onion and the garlic a little bit, I'm going to start with the story. So this is like a story from my childhood that I will never ever forget. We had like a really great childhood, and we had like childhood friends that we have like so many stories with. Like we can go on for days about our stories. They were just really fun. We just have like, yeah, so many pieces, and I can't wait until our kids are all older as well, and we can just be like, oh, this is what happened with Auntie so and so. We did this and that. Some stories are not to be told, but this one is just like kind of a teenage rebellion type story. Not me, I was the good child. But my sister, she sort of, I wouldn't say she did what she wanted, but she was the type of child that like, I really want to do it, so I'm going to do it. And like, if I get grounded, I get grounded, like, is what it is. At least I did what I want. I was more fearful. I was like, no, I don't want to get grounded. I don't want to be in trouble. So I'm not going to do it. So on this occasion, we usually had like these 2 childhood friends that we would go on holiday with, and we would always meet up while we were on holiday. And we'd go out, we'd do things, we'd go to the beach, we'd go camping, we'd always do like so many things together. And on this occasion, only one of them came, so the older one came. And initially we were just supposed to like kind of go out. I don't know where we were supposed to go. I think we told our parents we were like going to a shopping center, or we were going like just down to like the market or something like that. I don't know what we said. I really can't remember that. I just remember we were supposed to go out, and where we went was nowhere near where we said we were going to be. So that's why, like, you know, some of us got in trouble. So initially we went out, and that was the plan even for us. We personally didn't plan, like me and my friend didn't plan to like go anywhere else apart from where we actually said we were going. So back to the story. Like I said, initially we were supposed to be going to like a shopping center or the market or somewhere, and that was like the honest plan for me and my friend. However, my sister had other plans. I don't know if it was like while we were out, her friends contacted her, but I don't think so. I think she kind of knew in her head this is what she wanted to do. And at the time, we were actually living abroad. This was not a holiday, so me and my sister were living abroad, and my friend just came out for a holiday. So I think my sister's friends contacted her and was like, oh, look, we're doing this. We're going here. Do you want to come with us? And she said yes. But my parents didn't like these specific friends and they didn't want her hanging around with them. So she obviously like just said to us, why don't we go out? You know, trying to use us. We were her cover story, but like initially she didn't tell us. And then when we were out, she said, look, my friends really want to see me, whatever. And she convinced us to go with her. I was really scared, like the whole time. I was like, I don't think we should do this. And my other friend was the same. Like, we're just like the scaredy cats, you know, we don't like to like get in trouble, things like that. So we were just like, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, maybe we should not do this. Maybe we should just, you know, like go where we're actually supposed to go. Maybe you should meet them on another day. Maybe you should tell your parents and then meet them like when it's planned. And my sister was like, no, we're going to do it. So we did it. First of all, although we lived up there, we had never been like on the tramway. Like we had never been on it. We'd only ever used like the train or the bus or something like that. And like where we were going, we'd never ever been, even though we lived out there, we'd never been, but it was far. To be honest, it really wasn't far from our house, but from where we were supposed to be, it was really far. And like I said, we've never been down there. We shouldn't have been down there. Like, it's not the greatest of areas either. So we shouldn't have been out there. So first of all, we got the train, and like the whole entire time, me and my friend looking at each other like, are we really doing this? Are we actually just going to follow her? Like, I didn't want my sister to get in trouble, so I held it down. I was like, it's what it is. We just go with her. Because like really and truly, I didn't want to go. But I knew that if we split up and she would have gone by herself, she would have just been in so much more trouble, or something could have happened to her. So yeah, we decided to go with her. While we were on the tram, it was like really, really, really packed. There was just people everywhere, and like no seats. So like you're kind of like squashed in and like just trying to like survive. We were like by the doors. And then there was like the first kind of chairs, but like a metal bar. And my sister leaned on the bar. Like, obviously, she's just trying to, like, stand up. There's so many people. So she just leaned backwards. That bar wasn't, like, that. It wouldn't have affected anyone by her leaning on it. But the person that was sitting down, there was, like, two teenage boys sitting down on those chairs, the first chairs. One of them decided to push her arm off. And she was just like, why is he pushing my arm off? Like, I'm not affecting him. I'm nowhere near him. Like, why is he pushing my arm off? The bar was, like, this far away from him. Like, there was just no need, like, this far away. Like, there was no need for him to push the bar if it really didn't affect him at all. To push, her arm off. And she was just like, why is he doing that? So I'm just gonna add the chicken in now, since the onion is all browned. So my sister was like, hell no, why is he pushing my hand off? So she put her arm back on, and he pushed it a second time, and then she put her arm back on, and he pushed it a third time. And for anyone that knows my sister, knows that she could probably go from 0 to 100 real quick, and she don't give you no warning. Like, the warning is like, don't do it again. Like, if I put my arm back up there, leave it alone. And she was not having any of it. So the guy, like, when he pushed her arm off for the third time, she didn't give him warning. Like, she didn't tell him like, touch me one more time, whatever. She just like, she looked back the first 2 times, and I was like to him like tutted almost, or sighed. I can't really remember, but I know she didn't say anything. But by the third time, I'm telling you, my sister grabbed this guy from like literally the front of his t-shirt, like from the collar, and just started punching this guy in the face, like literally just like bam, 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 like some movie. And me and my friend were just so shocked. Like, I was in such shock. I don't think I even reacted like instantly. I didn't pull her off. I was just like, what the hell is happening? She went from 0 to 100 real quick. She didn't even tell us that she was gonna punch him. Like, it just happened. Like, she was just like, oh hell no, if he touches me one more time, watch. So she just started punching this guy, and he's like trying to pull away. He was not expecting to get punched by like a girl. And he was probably even younger than her. Like I think my sister at the time must have been like 16, 17 absolute max, but I definitely think she was like 16. And at the time, the guy, like, he was probably like 13, if that, you know. But yeah, he was trying to act like he was bad and he could push her off, and she lost it. So she started punching him, and then like everyone on the tram was like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "He keeps pushing my arm off." And like, best believe everyone came on my sister's side. They were like, "You can't touch her, like, you can't touch a girl, la la la." All these like older people. There was this older woman with like a bag, and she started hitting him with the bag. She was telling him to get off. Everyone told him to get off. So these two teenagers got kicked off. They had like a group of friends with them, but like there was just two like initially sitting off. So they all like came off. They all came off the tram when that happened. And everyone was like to my sister, "Are you okay?" And I was thinking, he got punched. His t-shirt was ripped. She ripped his whole t-shirt, and you're asking if she's okay. And she's like, "I'm fine." Like, if we could just take those seats now. Okay, so first of all, I've already put some salt and pepper, but I'm going to add a bit more. So salt. This is really like eyeballing it. I wouldn't say I have like measurements for anything. I really do eyeball it. So sorry, I can't give measurements on like seasonings. And to be honest, when I watch videos, I really hate it when people don't give measurements, even on seasonings. But on this occasion, I'm one of those people. So I've added salt and pepper. I'm also adding onion granules, even though I've got onion in here, but it just gives it that extra bit of flavor. So onion granules in here. There we go. And then I'm also adding some paprika. I'm going to add curry powder, which again, I know is not to everyone's taste, and turmeric powder. So I'm going to start with the curry powder. I'm going to put like a teaspoon in. So once they got kicked off the tram, we just carried on our journey, and the tram literally takes you to the last stop. So where we were getting off was the complete last stop, and we had to stay on the whole entire time. So that was fun, you know, and not knowing where we were going, never been there before or anything like that. So yeah, it was like really like, where are we actually going to go? Anyway, when we got to the station, we got off the tram, and my sister was like, "Oh yeah, my friends are coming," and blah, blah, blah. And we expected we were going to go with her. But she's like, "Oh no, they don't have space in the car. It's just me. So you guys need to wait for me here." And we were like, "What?" Wait for you here in the train station? No, not even train station, tramway. Like, it's literally on the main road. And there's nothing down there. There's no shopping center. There was nothing for us to go. Like, we didn't even know where we were going. / like, didn't have like internet on the phone. Couldn't like Google or check like where we could walk about and then come back here later. We really didn't know where we were going. And these were like BBM times. Like, these was like BlackBerry times. So I just remember being on BlackBerry, and like where I was, where we lived, like there was no BBM out there, that it didn't work. It was blocked. So like there wasn't really much options to kind of contact apart from call or text. So that's obviously what I did when I needed to speak to my sister. I would just call, text her. So she went off, and me and my friend are just having to sit in the station, and like an hour goes by, nothing, 2 hours, nothing. We're like, where is she? Also, I missed a crucial point in this story. It was Ramadan. This story was during Ramadan. So this whole entire time we're waiting, we're looking at the time. We're like, it's nearly Maghrib. Like, we need to go. We need to get home. Like, we need enough time to drop my friend home, because then her auntie was going to take us home by the car. So we were just going to go back to hers, and her auntie was going to drop us off, because we lived like 15 minutes away by car, or less, maybe even. So this whole entire time, we were just watching the clock, like, where is she at? And my sister, she didn't answer the phone. Her phone was always in silent. So she would answer like every so often, like maybe like every 5-6 calls, she would answer the phone. But then like most of the time she didn't answer the phone. So we're sitting there, we didn't know what to do. People are coming and going. The trains are coming and going. And we're just like, oh my goodness, like we're just sitting here like two mugs really. And we were like laughing, but at the same time, like, where is she? We need to go before we all get in trouble. And, you know, like, I wouldn't say we had the strictest parents, but we definitely didn't have like the most open parents where they would just be like, yeah, do what you want, come when you want. Like, no, it's Ramadan, it's a Muslim country, and like Maghrib, everything's closed. Like, even I think half an hour for Maghrib, all the buses stop, everything stops because everyone goes home to eat. So there was like literally no way back. There was like one last train about half an hour before Maghrib, and that was it. Like one last tram, sorry. And then even the train would have stopped. So we had to get the tram, then the train to get where we were going. and then her auntie was gonna pick us up from the airport, from the station, and take us home. So we were like already like quite close. It was maybe like an hour and a half away. We're just calling. My sister's like, yeah, I'm coming. Don't worry, don't stress, I'm coming, don't worry. So the next part of the recipe is I'm going to be adding fresh cream, so crème fraîche, to it. This is a 300 milliliter one. I'm not going to add it all. I'm just going to add it until I think it's sufficient, because you don't want it too watery. Otherwise, it's going to like not hold in the buns. It's going to like leak through, and you don't want that. And I'm also going to be adding like cheese, and this is like the only spreadable cheese I could find at short notice. So like the dairy one, but do you know what? This one does the job. I got the family pack. I'm going to be using half the family pack. So if you get like the smaller one, you could just use all of that. Again, this is to your liking. The fresh cream, I would just say do it until it's not too watery, but the cheese is to your liking. If you like things really cheesy, which I do, I'm going to use half. If you don't, use less. So that's 3 really large tablespoons of fresh cream. And I'm going to put the cheese, again, like I said, like half the pack is sufficient. Okay, so this is what it's looking like now. So we need to get it to a consistency. There's still some bits of cheese that haven't completely melted in, but we need to get it to a consistency where when you pick it up, it's not dripping. This is still dripping. There's still lots of like really runny bits. If it's dripping, it's going to just wet your bun and it's going to seep through when you put it in the oven. So you definitely need to wait until it dries up a bit. I start with the dough. So I've got myself a bowl, and like I said, I have to do my best to kind of like show you, but it's like really hard. I don't have a massive kitchen, and it's really hard to put something behind me because I still wouldn't be able to show you. I don't have enough counter space right now to show you everything I'm doing. So this is going to be the best way I'm doing it. I'm going to explain everything and then just show you afterwards. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 cups of flour. So I actually have like the kind of measuring cup. I don't use just cups, but you can. It's practically the same. If it's just like an average sized cup, you can use that. I'm just going to add 2 cups of flour. This isn't the entire recipe. It's not the entire recipe for the dough, sorry. You'll be adding more flour later, but this is just like the first part before you let it just rest and rise. And I will add the whole recipe in the description box below, just in case you missed out on anything or I forgot to say how much of something I've put in. So yeah, it's just normal plain flour that I'm going to put in there. And then I'm going to get my salt and sugar. So first of all, I've got salt to hand. So you would usually use 1 teaspoon, but I mean, I sort of know how much 1 teaspoon is by eyeballing it, so I don't really need to get a teaspoon. And then it's 1 teaspoon of sugar as well. So I'm just going to add that in. Just 1 teaspoon. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get 350 milliliters of warm water and mix in the dry yeast into that. Okay, so I'm just going to pour in the 1 packet of dry yeast into here. I have my flour, my salt, my sugar in the bowl, and then I've got the dry yeast in here, and I've just got my glove on so I can just mix it. So I'm just going to pour that all in gently. There we go. Just mix everything in and get every bit of yeast that's like on the cup or on the spoon because we need it. So I'm just going to start mixing it gently. Just sitting now in the tramway station, like I said, out in the open, nowhere to go, just waiting. My sister's not really picking up her phone. She'll like pick up and then like not pick up, not pick up, etc. So yeah, we were just waiting about, to be honest. Like we couldn't really do anything. And then there was the guys, so the teenage guys that were on the train. Not the initial 2 that were sitting at the chair, not the one that my sister hit, but like the other group that was with them. We kept seeing them. They kept coming on and off tram. So they would come all the way to the last station and then cross over and get on the next tram, go, and then come back again. And they were just doing it like a few times, and we didn't understand why they were doing that. They just kept coming back and forth. Like, I don't know if they were bored with their lives or God knows what they were trying to do. But yeah, so they basically were just coming back and forth. And then eventually they came up to us and I was thinking, oh my goodness, are they coming to fight us? Like my sister hit their friend. Like what if they're coming to fight us? There was 2 of them. And I was like, oh my goodness, like what if like they just want to say something? What if they're going to be rude? What if they're going to hit us? Like the one that's actually gonna fight them is not here. It's just me and my friend that are scared. So I was like, what's gonna happen? And they came up to us, and the guys were like, "Oh, we really like you, and we want to get your number." They were trying to chat us up. Yeah, we were like, "Now's not the time, my friend. It's Ramadan, haram." First of all, it's Ramadan. Second of all, we're like stressing because we know we're gonna miss the next train, with the last tram, if my sister doesn't get here soon. So we were really worried. So before I move on, I'm gonna with the story, I'm gonna show you the consistency. So it's still really sticky, and this is what it's supposed to look like. It's still kind of gooey, sticky. It's supposed to stick like this much. It's not supposed to be dry at all. So it's supposed to be kind of like a gooey texture. And I'm just gonna wipe off as much as I can from the glove with the spoon. So yeah, just take off as much as you can from your hands if you're using hands and not gloves. And then this dough, we're just going to leave it to rest for 10 minutes. You don't even need to cover or anything. Just leave it for 10 minutes. And it should be fine. It should be a bit more dry. It wouldn't be completely dry, but it should be a little drier and have risen a little bit. And we will add the rest of the ingredients to this dough. This is not the complete dough. This is the perfect consistency for it. As you can see, it's still very creamy. It's not dry, but it's holding on to the spoon quite well. It shouldn't leak in the oven, because remember, when you put it in the oven, it's going to melt the cheese again and everything, and it might start dripping. Okay, so I am back with the dough. It's been 10 minutes. As you can see, it has risen a little bit. It's still quite jiggly. It's still like moving about a bit, but it's not as like runny as it was before. Okay, so the next step is to add 3 more cups of flour. So I'm just adding my half a cup of sunflower oil to that. So the next part of the story, like I said, there was like the teenage boys. They came to shut us up, and I was like, absolutely not. And I remember they like wrote their number on, I think it was like the tramway card or something. Yeah, it was the tramway card. And I was like, you might as well just throw it in the bin, because I'm not going to keep it. Like the second you walk away, I'm going to put it in the bin. He was like, no, just take it, just take it, just take it. And he really wouldn't go. And I was like, okay, if I say I'm going to take it, are you going to just go? And he was like, yeah. So I just held it, and then like as he walked away, I was like, okay, bye. And I just like put it to the side. It was really weird, because I was thinking, literally, my sister like be up your friend just like a few hours ago, and now you're coming to ask for a number. And I was thinking, I feel like I'm an overthinker, so I was probably thinking at the time, like, you know, what if they're just doing it to like see us, and then they might like beat her up or something like that. I don't know what they were thinking. So yeah. Meanwhile, my sister's obviously off enjoying herself, doing her thing with her friends, you know, just doing her thing. And me and my friend started to really panic, because it's like an hour away now from Maghreb, like, and it would have taken us at least like 45 minutes minimum to like get home, because like I said, tramway, then the train, and then we had to get dropped off. So it would have taken us like a minimum of like 45 minutes. So if we were to get home, we were supposed to be home an hour before Maghreb, like not this long. So I called my sister, and I was like, look, there's one last train, and if you're not here, we're getting on it, because I'm not getting in trouble because of you. Like, love you, sis, but you know, this story doesn't paint me in the best light. I've obviously I love my sister, but I wasn't trying to get into that type of trouble, and like my friend didn't want to get her in trouble as well because of my sister. So I was just like, okay, it is what it is, you know, like if she doesn't come, we're getting on the train. And the last tram came, and I was like to my friend, we're getting on, and she was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? My sister wouldn't answer the phone, and I messaged her, and I was like, we're getting on the tram. And my sister called me and was like, no, wait, we're coming. And I was like, I'm not waiting for you. If we wait for you, how are we gonna get home? She's like, no, they're gonna drop us off. I was like, you said they had no space in the car, so you know, no, sorry. And I was like, no, we're going. Like, we waited for hours. You didn't come. You didn't even want to answer the phone. Now the last tram's here. I'm not waiting, because like I didn't trust her enough to be like, definitely there's a space home, we're gonna go. Like, I wasn't trying to get in no trouble. And yeah, the tram took off, and we were just like, we've gone without her. Is what it's like. I felt so guilty, and my friend was like, oh my god, did we actually just leave without her? But it is what it is, you know, sis. You shouldn't have done that. Okay, so the next part is I've got my glove, I've got my tray out. I'm not going to preheat my oven just yet, because my oven does heat up really quickly. But if your oven takes a while, start preheating it now while you're making the buns, putting them together. And this is what the dough is looking like. So this is the consistency it should be. You should be able to squish it. It shouldn't be sticky, but it shouldn't be too dry that it's falling apart, flaking off. If it is doing that, then add a bit more oil or add a bit of water to your dough. and I've got my rolling pin. I'm just going to roll it out. So this is how it should be. It should be this thin, maybe this size. It's not like a perfect circle or anything. It's not supposed to be. And then I'm just going to I'm going to start with like a small spoon of chicken and see where I go. So I think that should be enough for like 1 tablespoon. And I sometimes do it. I'm going to add a bit more actually. There's probably like 1.5 tablespoons of chicken has gone into that. And I'm going to close it up and show you guys. So it's kind of looking like this right now. Looks a bit odd. So if you just pinch the middle part, and then what you could do, either get some scissors or just kind of pull it off with your hands, the top dough, because you can reuse that dough. That's still part of your dough. It hasn't been touched by anything. And you don't want the bottom part to be really doughy and not cooked. So this is sort of like a really small bun. But you can do bigger, smaller. I sometimes do them a bit bigger than this. I usually put like maybe 2 spoonfuls in. I did do this one pretty small, just because I know I had to pick it up and show you guys. So we got on the tram, and at this point, it like, you know, like I said, it is what it is. We had to go. We just couldn't risk staying, and didn't know if my sister was actually going to come back when she said she was, because she had been saying for hours she's coming and she still didn't. So, you know, we had to just wait. And the whole entire time, me and my friend were like absolutely terrified. Like, what's going to happen when we get there? What are we going to tell them? And then I was like, do you know what? I'm not a snitch, but like, it is what it is. You know, we can't get in trouble because she's like having a little rebellious phase and want to do what she wants to do. And like, she ditched us. Like, she had no loyalty to us. She just left us to go. So we shouldn't have any loyalty to her. My sister's going to get at me for this, but yeah, that's, you know, it is what it is. That was like our thought process. We were just like, well, she's left us for hours. So, you know, if she gets in trouble, she gets in trouble. Like, there's nothing we can do. She chose to do this, so that's on her. So we got on the tramway, and the thing is, she took us there, so we sort of didn't really know 100% the way. We're just kind of guessing and trying to remember how we got there to do the same thing but come backwards. So I've put too much chicken in this bun. And we were just trying to guess to come back so we didn't get lost. So we're trying to do that, and then we got the train, and then like that was the last train as well. We were so lucky, like we literally nearly missed it by like a few seconds. And we got the last train, and when we got to the train station, or when we were like a few stops away from the train station, my friend, she called her auntie and she's like, okay, we're like nearly at the train station, can you come get us? And my friend's auntie was like, yeah, okay. So again, at this point, we didn't know where my sister was. Her battery died or something like that. I don't know why, but we didn't have any more like contact with her after that. I don't think we were able to get through to her. So I actually didn't know where she was. Like, we didn't know where she was. And we were just like, when we get there, we're just gonna have to tell them. They're gonna have to like, we're gonna have to find a way to find her, because like, God forbid, if anything happened to her, then you know, even us waiting at that train station, God forbid, if something did happen to her, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, how are we gonna know where did she go? We don't know where she was. So us staying there made no sense. We couldn't even like call them and tell them to come. So it was just better for us to go. And then, you know, if like something did happen, like I said, God forbid, it's better that we were like with adults. Next thing that happened was we're waiting at the train station for my friend's auntie to come. And I'm like, oh, there's her car. I can see her. Like, she's coming. And we were like trying to see, is that her? Is that her? Like, yeah, I think it's her. Because they only live like 3 minutes from the station. They're really not that far from the station. They're like right next to it. So we were like, okay, like when we get in the car, what are we going to say? Like, I don't even remember what the plan was to say. And then as she's like rolling up, my friend was like, isn't that your sister in the back? And I was like, is it? Is she there? Like, what? How did she get there? And then my sister, like, they roll up and come. My sister's like waving from the window, smiling, all proud of herself. And I was like, what the hell? She's like, I told you guys I was coming by car. Oh my goodness. Let me just tell you that, like, when we saw her, we just wanted to headbutt her, because we were just like, are you kidding us? Like, seriously. And in this whole process of this happening, my sister got dropped off, and my friend's like uncle saw my sister and was like, why aren't they together? And started questioning everything. Like, where are they? Why did they separate? La, la, la. Why is she coming in a car? Why are they coming on transport? Started questioning everything. And then like my friend's mom called my mom, and like my dad overheard. It was a whole process. Like, it was literally a whole thing. And like our parents found out that like we weren't together the whole entire time. And I was younger. I'm younger than my sister. So like technically she's responsible for me, even though it's only 2 years between us. But still, we were like going out, especially if we're gonna go somewhere really far that we don't know, and we didn't even tell our parents. Like, they kind of like assumed that she would take responsibility for me and she would like look after me. So the fact that she came back in the car and we came back on the train, like, obviously nobody liked. Like, everybody was like, why? Where was she? What was she doing? Who was she with? Where were you guys? Like, what were you guys doing? Who were you with? So that happened. And we didn't know at the time that like the phone calls had been made, not until we got home. And we literally got home, I can tell you, it was like 5 minutes until Maghrib. Honestly, we got home like 5 minutes before Maghrib. It was so close to Maghrib. Our parents like wanted to knock the lives out of us. Like, they were seriously questioning our every movement. And they were like, where were you? What were you doing? And like, I didn't want to say anything because I was like, if I talk, then like I'm going to get her in like big trouble. So I didn't want to say anything. But I didn't know that they kind of already found out from like my friend's family that, you know, that we didn't come together. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought they're shouting us because we came late. Like, I didn't snitch on her as much as I wanted to. I didn't snitch on her. And then like my dad just like obviously was like really shouting at my sister. He was really upset with her. He's like, how can you do that? We trust you to look after your sister. You're responsible for her. You're the older one. Yeah, she got in a lot of trouble. She got beats. She got in lots of trouble for that. And to be honest, like, if I ask my sister now, do you regret doing it? She'll probably say no. She's like, I did it, didn't I? You know, I got in trouble. I might got grounded. I might got beats. I might got whatever. But it's all good. I did what I wanted. She's so much more braver than I am. That is not me. I can say that for sure. That's not the person I am. I feel like my sister's still like that to this day. She's just a go-getter. If she wants to do it, she'll do it. Like, nobody's gonna stop her, which I admire. Like, love my bag. It is quite a good quality to have. But like, when you're a teenager, it's not a good quality to have because you need to have some fear for your parents. I really did enjoy that, and talking about it. It was really fun to remember that. Although that was like a really like rebellious phase of my sister, like just kind of doing what she wants and things like that. I wouldn't say she's completely different now. Like I said, she's a go-getter, but she's not type to like do things like that anymore. Well, I don't think so anyway. So shout out to you, sis. Love you forever and always. And shout out to my friend as well that was in that story. Because yeah, she went through it as well. She got in a lot of trouble as well. Like, why did you guys split up? Why did you go that far? I'm pretty sure she was grounded as well. Yeah, like we all got in a lot of trouble. To be honest, I really didn't get in trouble at all, but like my friend did because her mom obviously didn't know like the full story of what happened. I don't think my friend wanted to snitch on my sister, so I think she got in trouble, but I really didn't get in trouble. I just kind of got shouted out a bit, but I didn't get in like big trouble or anything like that. I remember my friends asked me like, but what happened? Where did you go? And I was like, we were just walking around. I don't want to say what actually happened because, you know, didn't want to get my sister in trouble. So this is what the buns are looking like now. Although I do have two that sort of exploded. Not perfect. They don't look amazingly perfect. And right now I'm just going to add egg yolk and some sesame seeds. Okay, so I've done most of them. This looks really messy, but it is what it is. I'm just doing this last one just to show you. I'm just coating it with the brush. I'm just trying to cover them as much as possible. Again, this part is like totally up to you. You don't have to put sesame seeds on. I just like to. Okay, so the buns have gone in the oven, out the oven, have even cooled down a little bit. And I'm just going to show you what they are looking like. So I've just put two on a plate to sort of cool down, separate from the rest. So I don't want to squeeze them too much, but if I show you, they are very soft. I don't want to squeeze them because I don't want to open them, but you can obviously see my finger like making sort of a dent in it. They're very, very, very soft. I'm really tempted to eat one, but it's 2 a.m. and I know I shouldn't be eating at the time, but I really want to just take a bite. But that's what it looks like in the inside. It is creamy, but also, as you can tell, the bottom bit doesn't have a lot of dough. It's the equivalent amount of dough all around. So it's really important that you do cut off that bottom bit of dough. Otherwise, you have like a ball of dough on the inside that's not 100% cooked. And yeah, it's just like all doughy rather than chicken and everything. So that's what it's looking like inside. I mean, that's not really doing it any favors, but It's lovely. It's chicken. I'm gonna take a bite because I can't help myself. Bismillah. It's so good. I highly recommend making this. These are absolutely delicious. I think I made 11. Yeah, I made 11, but you can always make more or less depending. I still had some dough left, which I put in the freezer, but I probably won't be using it for these. I'll make mini pizzas or mini burger buns out of it in the future, but since I'm not using it right now, I just thought to put it in the freezer. But these are delicious. I'm gonna go finish this and then I need to go to bed. I need to go do my nighttime routine and get into bed because it's like 2:30 a.m. But I'm so happy with I did this, and I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below if you would like more videos like this, more story times, or if you'd rather me do like a Q&A. But if you did enjoy the cook with me's, I could do cook with me or bake with me. I love baking, I love cooking, so I'm happy to do more of these. But I really need to sign off on this video and I need to get myself to bed. So thank you so much for watching once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the next video, inshallah. And don't forget, mamas, you're doing an amazing job. Bye.